I'd like to refute the opponent's claims that gambling addiction is a small problem, first of all, and also his relating Indian casinos to Las Vegas. According to the gambling or National Council for Probable Gambling, 2 million, which is 1% of U.S. adults, are estimated to meet the criteria for pathological gambling in a given year. And another 4.6 million, which is 2 to 3%, do not meet the full diagnostic criteria, but meet one or more of the criteria. And in addition to that, I'll reiterate a quote that I've used before by Dr. James Westphal. Although the 18 to 20-year-old group only comprises 8.2% of the total adult population, that age group makes up 22.5% of total adults with gambling behaviors. So 22.5% of that 2 million U.S. adults are in the 18 to 20-year-old group. I'd also like to go back to how he related the Indian casinos to Vegas and how Vegas has much a higher source of income than the Indian casinos do. Vegas is one single tourist attraction where people from all over the country come, and Indian casinos are in small rural areas on their reservations usually, and they can't be directly related to Las Vegas because it's a completely different aspect. And also, the opponents brought up that if 18 to 20-year-olds if the age is raised to 21, 18 to 20-year-olds will just go elsewhere. And he also brought up Las Vegas again. And in Las Vegas, the gambling age is 21. I'd also like to go to a final point where the opponent talked about how the parietal lobe is mature enough, even if the prefrontal cortex isn't. My opponent acted as if the brain operates in separate sections and that you only use one point at a time, whereas you're using all parts of your brain at a time. He also talked about how the prefrontal cortex is only used when you are doing your first action, and obviously 18 to 20-year-olds are new-ish to gambling, even more so than the 21-year-olds, and the prefrontal cortex is used to memorize actions. So at 18, when they are still, when their decision-making skills are still impaired because their brains have fully developed, they're memorizing the actions of irresponsible gambling. Just to sum it all up as a whole, our point is that the gambling age should be raised to 21 because it's the gambling age at 18 on Indian casinos is adversely affecting 18 to 20-year-olds economically. They're not developed enough and mature enough to make the decisions that will affect them for the rest of their lives, and that the 18 to 20-year-olds are also at a heightened risk for addiction. And if they continue to gamble as they are currently allowed to, it will only adversely affect them as a whole.